Sportif of Turkey taking on PAOK from Thessaloniki, Greece. Well, game day 9 is halfway through. We had a lot of games yesterday, and we had some great talking points, including a certain dunk by a Mr. Nick Slavica for Sabona. But tonight, we're focusing on Group C action, and Asvel have already won their game against EVE Baskets Oldenburg tonight. We've got this game as well as the other two that you saw there, and we'll be taking a look at the standings here shortly to drive home the importance of this game for both of these teams. Suffices to say, it's very, very important for the home team, Usak, Motorbike Usak Sportif, as they try to breathe some life into their Basketball Champions League campaign. They were tough luck losers last week, falling to a barrage of Jimmy Barron three-pointers at Neptunus Klaipėda. And there you see PAOK in 4th place and Motorbike Usak Sportif with just 2 wins and 6 defeats down in 7th place. But they're still alive, they're still in the hunt, and what they need to do is to try to climb up the table here in the second half of the regular season. If they could somehow find their way into 4th place, they would be assured of a spot in the playoffs. If they got to 5th place, well, they may be one of the 4 5th-place teams to advance to the playoffs. You've got 5 8-team groups in this competition. So a lot at stake, and starting with tonight. Who do we talk about for PAOK and Shulis Markopoulos, the coach? Well, Daryl Bryant, number 25, has hit some big shots, as has Jordan Seibert. Nenad Miljanovic, the point guard, has been important, as has Hristikopoulos, the versatile forward. When he's on, he's extremely, extremely tough. Of course, this is the second time these teams have met. PAOK winning 59-52 on game day 2 in Greece. Now, Ozan Bulkas has a talented roster. D'Angelo Harrison had a terrific start last week. Roland Premanis, the Latvian international, number 8, is somebody that you certainly want to keep an eye on. Shaquille O'Neal McKissick, obviously player that likes to play above the rim, and he will come out tonight looking to make an impact, as will Zach August. It's a dangerous game for PAOK as they try to improve their position. Right now they're in 4th place, but at 4-4, they know they need to start winning some more games with Ventspils, Rosa Radom, and this Motorbike Usak Sportif, and Open Job Metis Varese, who are 2-6. And still, you know, it's all open for everybody, and that's the great thing so far about the Basketball Champions League. For the most part, other than probably Kimmich in Group B, every team still has a fighting chance to move on into that playoff. Solnak Olai as well, struggling in Group E with just 1 win and 8 defeats after yesterday. So they have really got a huge mountain to climb. That said, they're 3 games behind Dinamo Sassari. Dinamo Sassari in 4th place. So still, Solnaki Olai could still do it. But anyway, we're in Turkey, and we're in Usak, and this is the place to be tonight as this PAOK team tries to get a little winning streak going. PAOK, last time out, won rather convincingly at home over Rosa Radom, and the week before they won it at home over Ventspils. Now they're back on the road, and on the road in this competition, let me tell you what they've done. They lost in a triple overtime thriller at Rosa Radom on game day 1. They did win in Varese, Italy, on game day 3, 75-70. At Neptunus Klaipėda, they lost 68-63 on game day 5. And they also lost at EVE Baskets in Oldenburg on game day 6, 67-62. But you'll notice that even with those defeats, PAOK have been right there in the thick of things. And perhaps a team that hasn't really realized its potential, and a team that could put together a run and do something special. As for Motorbike Usak Sportif, well, they started well enough last week at Neptunus Klaipėda, but they couldn't finish. And it was in the second quarter when, despite D'Angelo Harrison's brilliance, Jimmy Barron of Klaipėda just took over the game with his three-point shooting, with his scoring overall. As you see, the coaches shaking hands before the game here, as well as the players. Barron ended up with 29 first-half points, and Murebej never gave up. Murebej Usak Sportif never gave up. They kept fighting until the end, and you know they ended up falling. They ended up falling in that game by 10 points. Excuse me, by 15 points, 103-88. But it was, you know, they certainly made Neptunus Klaipėda play for the entire 40 minutes. Well, D'Angelo Harrison leading the way for Murebej Usak Sportif in terms of efficiency. His efficiency rating at 17.8. Zach August, a real hustler out there at 13 points per game. McKissick, Shaquille O'Neal McKissick, averaging 14.4 points per game. He did not play last week, and that was a big absence. So he's back tonight. Janis Penas, the Latvian international, also did not play. He's getting back to full fitness after an injury. So the referees tonight from Spain, the former Yugoslav Republic of Macedonia, and Montenegro: Antonio Conde, Alexander Milijevic, and Radomir. So just as a quick reminder, we've got, in this regular season, we had a qualifying round, and Murebej Usak Sportif had to win a qualifying round tie to get into the regular season. This will be the PAOK starting five tonight, and Antonis Konyatis, Brandon Taylor, Nenad Miljenovic, Jordan Seibert in that starting five. That is the assistant coach for PAOK. Keith Clanton, there is a big-time rebounder, one of the top rebounders in the competition. I think you're really going to enjoy, if you haven't seen him play so far, Konyatis. Starting five for Murebej Usak Sportif. August Kavakioglu starts at point guard. Harrison, Freymanis, and McKissick. Konyatis, I was talking about, point guard, just 19 years of age, an emerging talent in Greece, somebody that you want to keep an eye on, especially defensively. This guy can play the game of basketball. There's Ozan Bulkaz, the head coach of this Murebej Usak Sportif team. So, back to an earlier point that I was making about Murebej. Well, actually, let's listen to the coach here, Shulis Markopoulos. Okay, so back to an earlier point. Murebej Usak Sportif had to win against Cluj-Napoca 93-90 at home, and then they hit the road and won in Romania 85-66 to get into the regular season. So they actually had a couple of games beforehand just to get into this point of the competition. That was Konyatis, the 19-year-old. That was McKissick. And if you've ever been to Turkey, you know it's always a lively audience, and the Turkish fans already making a lot of noise here in Uşak. Konyatis, just 19 years of age. And he measures 1.90 meters in height. That's 6 feet 3 inches, although I think he plays bigger than that. As they have their pregame ritual here in Usak, there was also recognition for the people who were killed by explosions in Istanbul on Saturday. Tragic events, difficult times for a lot of people, and obviously our thoughts are with all those people who have been affected. In any event, we're about ready to play basketball, and hopefully this will be a welcome diversion for people in this country to enjoy a sport that everybody loves. Basketball is hugely important in the country of Turkey. Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to Uşak, Turkey. We are watching game day action, the Basketball Champions League. And we're watching a game between Motorbay Uşak Sportif in white and PAOK Thessaloniki in the dark uniforms. And D'Angelo Harrison, just like last week in Klaipėda in Lithuania, comes out firing. He's a competitor, and he gets the first basket here for the home team. Miljanovic over to Brandon Taylor, and now it's going to be Daryl Bryant. Freemanus not able to save it from going out of bounds, so the hosts will have to play defense. This is Group C, and the ball fed inside to Clanton. It was knocked out of bounds. 4 seconds remain on the shot clock. Entry pass to Seibert on the baseline, and Clanton, well, he's a great rebounder, and he gets one there, gives it back outside to Miljanovic, and they get a new 14 on the shot clock. Seibert into Brandon Taylor, and that's a goaltending call, a goal interference on August. The ball had already come off the backboard. McKissick. The jump shot is good for Shaquille O'Neal McKissick. Konyaris gets in the lane. Nobody picks him up, but then he misses the layup. A wide open layup. He's not going to get a better shot than that. Kaviakoglu. And August pounds the boards, but Clanton comes down with the rebound. Now quickly to Konyaris. And he puts up a little runner and hits it. Well, that was a little bit of a harder shot. I just wonder if Konyaris is starting to look for that shot, that penetration a lot more. He seemed to defer quite a bit early on, but could be a key for this PAOK team. Now August catches it, spins, and he travels. Miljanovic brings it across midcourt. He's guarded by Kaviakoglu, and Kaviakoglu missed the first foul. Miljanovic puts his head down, gets inside, puts it up, and August goes up for the rebound. Now the entry pass to Freemanus, who gets it. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be the home team's possession here. 14 on the shot clock. Harrison inbounds it to Freemanus. Roland Freymanis. Now over to D'Angelo Harrison. And Kavaklioglu misses the jumper, but Harrison gets the rebound. And then he puts it back up. And Clanton gets the rebound. Hands it to Miljanovic. In the corner it goes, and Seibert misses. Now Freymanis out. And Harrison is fouled. Not too much done wrong there by Cognates playing defense. It's an interesting test for him. He draws the best offensive player for the team, certainly the games that I've watched. And August picks up the loose ball, puts it up and in. Played his college basketball for the Fighting Irish of Notre Dame. Taylor puts it up, and the follow is good by Clanton. So motored by Usak Sportif, 2-6 in Group C. And they are trying to score there with McKissick and PAOK, who at 4-4 are in 4th place in Group C. They come back the other way. Cognates backs up Harrison, or Kavaklioglu, and the foul down low called. So free throws will be coming for Miljanovic. Miljanovic at the line. He's had his struggles at the line, and he misses the first one. Came in shooting 53.1% at the free throw line. And he makes 1 of 2. And Miljanovic then just picks the pocket of Kavaklioglu and puts it up and in. So bad mistake by the point guard. Now over to Harrison. Harrison's off target. August tries to keep the ball alive on the glass. Goes out of bounds, back over to PAOK. So Demirel comes off the bench, enters the game. Kavaklioglu goes out, and the pass inside to Brandon Taylor. He will go to the line for a free throw for a potential 3-point play. Yep. Good pass, and Taylor a lot more active tonight than I can remember in the games that I've watched him play. Picks up the foul. So he's now got 2 fouls. Wouldn't be surprised to see him come out shortly. Taylor, his previous high was 10 points against Open Job Metis Varese on game day 3. He also had 7 twice against Neptunus and also against Eve Baskets Oldenburg. Now Freymanis drives in, moves back to the basket and scores. Seibert inside to Clanton. He bulls his way in, goes right at August, and doesn't have the finishing touch. Demirel gets it over to Fremanis. Poniardis is going to head over to the bench. So Painas comes into the game. So a couple of Latvian internationals on the floor. Painas from PAOK, number 31, chasing Harrison. And another foul called, this time on Janis Painas. So Harrison very active, looking for a shot. Looks over at the ref and says, that's no foul. But Harrison rewarded for his attacking play. And this is the first free throw. Harrison really was almost unstoppable last week when he was playing at Neptunus Klaipėda. Makes one of two. Harrison, 23 years of age. He finished with 23 points last week. Now here's Painas. And Painas goes down and lays it up and in. Looked like he was going to rock the rim, but instead he just put it up easily over the front of the iron. And spin move from Demirel, and the ref didn't like it. He called it travel. I think the referee got it right. I think he kind of skipped. So PAOK with the early lead, 14-9. Harrison comes the other way now. Kind of invites the contact from behind. Fremanis gets inside, puts it up, and Janis Painas comes down with the rebound. And the ball goes back over to Morabe Usak Sportif. Karas, the Lithuanian, into the game. Number 23. In the first game between these two teams, as you look at the basket inside from Karas, and he cuts that deficit to just 3 points. In the first game between these two teams, Daryl Bryant had 21 points and 5 assists to lead PAOK. Bounce pass in, it goes, and Clanton misses a layup. That's a couple of layups they've missed. Now McKissick goes in, and he misses a short one. And Miljanovic passes over to Painas, and he gets pinned. Karas with a terrific block. The game opens up a little bit. Harrison, good, the three. We've got a tie game. Six of 13 for Usak, 6 of 17 for PAOK, and now Demirel pushes it quickly, and Miljanovic commits the foul. This was the three that knotted it. Leniadakis has entered the house, entered the game, the big center for PAOK, guarding Karas down low. Now McKissick hands it off, and Karras couldn't catch it. Hands it back off to Demirel. He tries to pass it back to Karras. Looked like Motorbe Usak Sportif were in a little bit of a rush that time. Now Bryant feeds Glendiadakis. And the foul committed before Glendiadakis could get into the paint. Jandan into the game as well, number 6 for Motorbe Usak Sportif. Here's Paynes, gets inside, misses, and Brandon Taylor there for the offensive rebound. Doesn't score with a putback, and then a foul called on PAOK as they crash the boards. So Karras will go to the free throw line with a chance to put his team in front. And Karras makes the first. Karras came into this game shooting only 58.5% at the free throw line, but he makes both. He hit 24 of 41, so that will improve his percentage as we enter the final minute of this first quarter. Paynes goes baseline, and this time puts it down with authority. A little bit ticked off, it looks like. That was a nice move from the Latvian. Looks like the lion in him is awoken. Oh, nice play by Jandan. Vujanovic this time goes to the right into the paint and scores. A lot of joy for the hosts getting the ball inside. Demirel for 3, knocks it in, and that will give Usak Sportif the lead here at the end of the first quarter. So the crowd appreciates the effort here from the home team as they go in front by 3 at the end of 1.
Okay, defense play. Bad rotation. Everybody. Empty corners blue. Bad rotation. Bad rotation. Empty corners blue. Bad rotation.
Usak shooting 6 of 11 inside the arc, 8 of 19 for PAOK. Usak Sportif with 2 threes, including that last one. That last one by Demirel, offense or rebounding wise, pretty even. And motivated by Usak Sportif with the 4 turnovers, no turnovers for PAOK. Well, here's some of the plays here in the first quarter of this Group C encounter between Motorbe Usak Sportif and PAOK of the Basketball Champions League. Just as a reminder, PAOK 4-4 in 4th place, and Motorbe Usak Sportif are 2-6 and in 7th place. Now, folks, if you're interested, and I know that you are, in watching more Basketball Champions League games, make sure you go to livebasketball.tv, and that's where you can see all of them. called here. Checking into the game. Soklas, the veteran point guard, is in for Greece. Usak August comes back in. So Soklas there is going to inbound the ball wearing number 9. And he gets it to Chryssikopoulos, who's just come into the game. Chryssikopoulos, his first contribution is a turnover. Now Harrison hesitates, gets it over to Jandan. And the 23-year-old doesn't lose it. And Harrison falls out of bounds. Watch this. I mean, there was contact. I'm not sure there was enough contact to get that much of a fall out of bounds for Harrison. Soklas, guarded by Demirel. Jandan guarding Bryant. Now Soklas. Over to Gliniadakis, and Gliniadakis goes down the lane and just lays it up and in. Cuts it back to a 1-point deficit. $18 of PAOK's points coming in the paint. Harrison knocks in another 3-pointer. Now Soklas gets it inside again to Chryssikopoulos, and Chryssikopoulos travels. Looked like he was nudged. Here's Harrison again. Freymanis now. Oh, nice footwork there. Freymanis just lays it up and in. And that forces a timeout by PAOK. And the crowd appreciating the effort of this home team, which is showing there's still some fight left in the dog. They are not going anywhere. At 2-6, they're still in the hunt. 5 points for Taylor. Miljanovic. Panish has 4 points. And Koniatis 2. Harrison has a game-high 9 points for Murtabey Usak Sportif. So Murtabey Usak Sportif with a 26-20 lead and forcing the timeout. Look at the 17-6 run since 3:45 remained. And that is what you like to see if you're the coach coming out of the timeout, an easy layup. And Panish has gotten all 6 of his points with layups or dunks. An offensive foul. Soklas goes to work, hands it off to Bryant for 3, good! And just like that, it's a 1-point game. So timeout. Coming out of the timeout, PAOK just whittled that deficit away in no time. So fans young and old here, middle-aged, late teens, they're all here watching an intriguing basketball game. Motored by Usak Sportif, unable to build on that lead. It looked like they were starting to get to grips with PAOK, and all of a sudden the Greeks come right back. Now August goes right at his opponent, and then following up was Jandan. Soklas, his team now trailing by 3. Paynes gets inside again and hands it off to Gleniadakis for the short jump shot. And Jantan hands it off to Demirel. Demirel puts up a 3, good! And will that be a 2, in fact? Have they called it a 3? Yes, they have. So the three-pointer takes it back to a 6-point lead. Now Gleniadakis gets a little bit of pressure up top. Soklas for 3, good! Gets it right back. Freymanis hands it off to Jandan. He's going to try to post up Bryant. Oh, bounce pass to August. And then coming from behind was Paynes to knock it away, but Demirel is there to get the ball, put it up in it, and miss the shot. Now Soklas again from the same spot. Good! That's the Soklas spot. And he has knocked down back-to-back threes to tie the game. Now Freymanis backs up Christopoulos and puts it in. And there's also a foul that's been called. Was it on the ball or off the ball? It looks like it was off the ball. No, in fact, it was on the ball, excuse me. So it was on Christopoulos. Just the reaction fooled me from Gleniadakis. And Freymanis is at the line for a potential three-point play. That was a great move before with Jandan backing up his man and then making the pass, anticipating the double team. Daryl Bryant puts it up, and the mid-range jumper is no good, and Freymanis with the rebound. Now Demirel has looked good at the point. Karas over to Freymanis, good! And the Latvian can shoot it. It's only a 2, but nevertheless a 4-point lead. He had such a good game last week at Neptunus. Here is the SWAT. Karas is on the SWAT team again. Christopoulos, a non-factor at this stage. And Harrison seemed to be in a rush. Now what are they going to call here? Initially they said it was PAOK ball. That was Karras with the block from behind. Again, looking at it through the backboard. In fact, they are giving the ball to Murabbe Usak Sportif, with the ruling that Panish had come from out of bounds to catch the ball. Demirel. Oh, bounce pass to Karras, and Soklas pulled Karras away, and it did not go unnoticed by the referee. Konyatis comes back into the game. He's got the 2 fouls. Dacus having words with the Spanish referee. Something about the clock. So they're going to make an adjustment. Got 14 on the shot clock. McKissick back in the game. He's been quiet. Anyway, I don't see the change that they've made. So McKissick guarded by Bryant. McKissick gets it over to Jandan, and Jandan blocked by Brandon Taylor. Now Konyatis crosses midcourt, outside to Panish, and he went up and down. He traveled. I don't know why Panish didn't just take the jump shot. Kavaklioglu back in the game at the point for Demirel. Now McKissick, and he charged. He pushed off Bryant, and his coach looks at him and says, "Why did you do that?" Now Konyatis gets into trouble and was able to get the ball to Brandon Taylor, but he turns the ball over. Taylor with McKissick coming up with the interception. McKissick for 3, and Brandon Taylor with another rebound. Well, the Turkish club holding its own right now, leading by 4. And Kavaklioglu has picked up the personal. Daryl Bryant looks for a way inside, passes it out to Brandon Taylor. Hits off the iron. McKissick trying to rebound, but Panish wins that battle. So a new 14 here for PAOK. It'll be Konyatis inbounding. Dacus over to Bryant. He gets inside, tries to get the contact. Brandon Taylor crashes the boards, but Karras comes away with it. Shaquille O'Neal McKissick gets it to his point guard. Kavaklioglu was on line but long. Panish with the board. And the points drying up here. The well is running dry for both teams. Jonas Panish drives in and again misses another layup. And it goes back over to the home side. So Karras comes out. You can see that Zanis Panish was appealing for a foul, but the appeal fell on deaf ears. D'Angelo Harrison has been getting a good rest over there on the Usak Sportif bench. We got one foul. McKissick on the baseline. Now Conyades. Up to Brandon Taylor. Haven't seen Keith Clanton in a while. Bounce pass inside, goes off of Panish, and he saves it in bounds, but it goes off of Gleniadakis. And then Zach August catches it in transition from McKissick and is fouled. So he has a chance for a three-point play. What a turn of events. August fouled by Bryant. So we've got a timeout here by PAOK. Let's try to listen in to Coach Markopoulos. Oh, it looks like a determined Murat by Usak Sportif today. A team with a lot of focus. Remember, they lost the first meeting between these two teams, and you never know how that really impacted their season because that was a close game. And they've come into this one at 2-6 on the back of that tough loss at Neptunus Klaipėda, where Jimmy Barron had 42 points. Now, August too hard with that. Panish again, gets in, hands it off. Mijanovic misses the layup. PAOK are bound and determined to get inside, and they're getting a lot of good looks, but they're just not making the shots. Bounce pass to August, and he throws it down. The biggest lead of the game now for Usak Sportif. They're up 39-31. Now Bryant. PAOK riding a two-game winning streak at 4-4. Now Bryant, August with the rebound. Behind the back pass to August, and the travel has been called. And that was the dunk. Good interplay with Mijanovic. Final 50 seconds now of the first half. Mijanovic trying to get in, puts up a little runner, it's good. We've seen both him and Conyades make shots like that today. And now the anticipation from Clanton, and the big center almost came up with an interception. DeMorel. Jump shot. And Zach August keeps it alive. He's going to go back up strong. Would have been better probably to pass that out and to hold it for one shot. Bounce, the jump shot is good right at the buzzer from Jordan Seibert. And that takes some of the steam out of the engine there for Motorbike Usak Sportif, who lead it by just 3 points at halftime. So you see the halftime stats, 48% inside the arc for Usak and much worse for PAOK, but only trailing by 3 points. PAOK had no turnovers in the first quarter, but they had 5 in the second. Harrison with 9 points, leading all scorers. Mijanovic, who had that little runner, has 7. Panish with 6, and Soklas with the back-to-back threes has 6 points. Freymanis has 8 points. August with the 5 rebounds, and Panish with the 5 rebounds. Look at that little fan out there in the court. These people are out of control. Well, it's the Basketball Champions League, and it's all happening, folks. It's Motorbike Usak Sportif on top, 39-36 at halftime. But we're at halftime, folks. Be sure to come back for second half action here in the Basketball Champions League. It's Motorbike Usak Sportif on top of PAOK Thessaloniki at halftime. Well, we're at halftime here of the Basketball Champions League game between PAOK and the home side, Motorbay Usak Sportif. And it's Motorbay Usak Sportif leading it by 3 at the break. And certainly hopes are high here that this team is going to get its 3rd win in this competition. It's been a difficult season for Motorbay Usak Sportif, but they showed flashes of being very good last week at Neptunus Klaipėda, and tonight they've come out and weathered sort of an early storm by PAOK and have taken the lead, although PAOK getting a Jordan Seibert 3-pointer right there before the break took some of the air out of the balloon, so to speak. So we are ready, almost ready to go here at this Group C game. As a reminder, PAOK coming into this in 4th place at 4-4. This is game day 9. Motorbay Usak Sportif are at 2-6. And if you get a top 4 finish, you advance to the playoffs. Now, we've still got several games to play, several rounds to play, but this game is pivotal, really, for both of these teams. If you get 5th place, you still may advance as one of the 4 best 5th place teams in the competition. So we are off now, and it's Demirel starting at the point. And Karras gets it down low early on, and a foul has been called against PAOK playing defense. So the foul was apparently called on Seibert. McKissick gets inside, passes it back out to D'Angelo Harrison, and off the back of the iron, Freymanis comes running in. And they are going to talk and see whose ball it should be, and indeed it will be Motorbay Usak Sportif. Oh, it could have gone either way, really. I think home side may have gotten fortunate there, and Freymanis takes advantage, hits the baseline jump shot wide open. So takes the lead back to 5. Seibert misses the 3, and Demirel with the rebound. Behind the back pass. And now Konyatis read the pass. He's going to go hard to the basket, and he's going to miss the shot. But then Brandon Taylor hustled down and followed up the shot. And Harrison looked like he could have had the ball, but for some reason wasn't able to snag it. Now McKissick for 3. Good. 44-38. And back to a 6-point advantage. McKissick now with 5 points. And they could certainly do with him heating up. Seibert into Clanton. Back to Mijanovic. Seibert again to Clanton. Is he going to go straight at Karras? No, he's not. He's going to turn it over. And Motorbay Usak couldn't collect the ball, but it goes out of bounds with 3 seconds on the shot clock. Only 3 seconds. Oh, they get a good look from the corner, and the miss from Seibert. And good job by Demerel to avoid the defense. And now McKissick gets in and draws the foul by Taylor. So he goes to the line for 2. Well, you've heard of Hack-a-Shack. That was just foul Shaquille O'Neal McKissick. And he goes to the line and misses the first one. The second one, however, is good. He came into this game shooting just 52% at the free throw line, like his similar player that has a name like his used to be in the pros, Shaquille O'Neal. Now Mijanovic has his pass batted into the hands of Freymanis, and Harrison gets it over to Freymanis, who thought about it and then passed it back out to Demerel. Now Demerel back to Freymanis for 3. Good! And the Latvian gunslinger knocks it in again. He's got 13 points, and it's a 10-point advantage. Mijanovic gets it to Clanton, and he just dribbles it off his foot and out of bounds. So very difficult start here to the second half for PAOK. And Markopoulos is going to make a change. Harrison gets it over to McKissick, who flies in and hangs in the air and lays it up. What an athletic move from Shaquille O'Neal McKissick, who now has 8 points. Clanton, bounce pass to Chrysakopoulos. And Chrysakopoulos missed a layup. Just don't know where he is tonight, folks. Chrysakopoulos hasn't played much, and when he's come in, he hasn't looked like his old self. He was challenged by Karras. Now the pass inside, and that's more like the Chrysakopoulos that we're used to seeing. Important game here for PAOK. Trying to keep that little winning streak going, trying to get a 3rd straight win, but Usak Sportif really giving him a fit right now. Oh, spin move from Karras, and he goes to the line. He was clotheslined, it looked like, from Clanton. First foul called on Keith Clanton. Oh no, he just had his left arm lowered, Clanton. Leonidas comes into the game. And Karras, again, misses a free throw. It's not a good free throw shooting team, just 64.8% before this game. And Karras makes the second. So the foul called as Demerel got inside. He tried to deny Mr. Mijanovic. Now Chrysakopoulos launches one, but another foul called. Three fouls now on Karras. Now Zach August comes in, the real scrapper. 20-9 run for Usak since the 6:05 mark in the second quarter. Looked like PAOK had kind of stop the rot a little bit at the end of the first half. But that hasn't really been the case. Usak have the wind in their sails right now. Sinus Paynes drives in, and he was going to go up and then stay down as Zach August was in there. Harrison was the man that picked up the foul. And Paynes makes the first one. And he misses the second. So free throw misses now for PAOK as they try to claw their way back. Harrison hands it off to August and goes up, uses his body well. Excellent find by Harris, excellent cut to the basket by August. And a foul called out on the perimeter on Harrison. So Harrison has to come out of the game. A little bit of frustration. He wants to stay in. We're 4 minutes into the third quarter here, and Sinus Paynes is back at the free throw line. And he gets the first one to fall. And the second one is good as well, so 2 consecutive free throws. Haven't seen that much very often tonight. It's back to a 10-point game now. Fremanis, well, they telegraphed the pass, and Seibert intercepted it. And it's going to be ruled a travel. Watch this. And yeah, he did kind of walk with it before he was able to take off. So a break, really, for the home team there. Demerel. Very shifty move, but a foul called on August. Vojinovic, shifty move by him, and this time he was blocked by August, and it triggers a break. Shaquille O'Neal McKissick in full flow, and he scores! And he will go to the line for a potential three-point play. What a play that was. Look at this. The turnover leads to the break, and then McKissick does what McKissick does best. He gets to the rack, and now he will go to the line. Well, he was quiet in the first half. And starting to come to life now. McKissick, he misses the free throw, and Fremanis was ruled into the lane too early. He looks at the ref and says, could have gone either way, right, ref? The ref says, but it didn't go your way. Leonidas hands it off to Paynes, and Paynes misses an easy one. And now Hrysakopoulos picks up the loose ball and draws the foul. So it was August who committed the foul. He raked Hrysakopoulos across the left arm. Hrysakopoulos misses the free throw. The second one, however, is good. So It's an 11-point game. Jandan back in the game. And Demirel passes it out. Now it's going to be Fremanis who puts it off the back of the iron, and Daryl Bryant, who's come into the game, gets the rebound. And to Gleniadakis, and he powers his way in and scores. Sonmez also into the game. He's got the ball. There's Sonmez. August quickly to Fremanis, who fakes the handoff to Jandan, but a turnover. Well, Morit by Usak Sportif on top. And the question is, can they step on the accelerator, or will PAOK reel them back in? And Sonmez kicks it out of bounds. Now Sonmez goes back out, and Kavya Kioglu comes in. Over to Soklas. Gleniadakis powers his way up against August. August does a good job of holding his ground. Hristokopoulos got the rebound, missed it. And Gleniadakis couldn't get hold of it, so it goes back over to Morit by Usak Sportif. And I don't think Gleniadakis had a point there. I think it was, he just didn't get the rebound. Kavaklioglu calls the play. Now gives it to Demirel. Fremanis. He's going to go right at Hristokopoulos. Hristokopoulos knocks it out of his hands. But a foul was called against PAOK on Bryant. So Kavaklioglu at the free throw line and rattles in the first one. 75% free throw shooter coming into this contest. Had only taken 4 free throws, and he makes both. So it's back to an 11-point lead for the home team. Fremanis comes out, but as you look at that clock, there's a long way to go in this one. Soklas now brings it up against Kavaklioglu. Looks, gets it over to Bryant for 3. And foul called on August. So that is his 3rd foul. Yep, and that was a great call by the ref, just holding Gleniadakis down. And Gleniadakis makes his first free throw, get it back to 10. And the second one is good as well. It's back to a 9-point game. August comes up and sets the pick. He's going to roll. Kavaklioglu takes it, however, and goes right down the lane and scores with the left hand. Bryant Soklas for three. August battling for the rebound. Passes it. Oh, that was dangerous. Christopoulos was lurking. Now McKissick for three. And McKissick can't get the fall, but August is there hustling down the floor, getting the rebound and putting it up and in. He really does bring a lot to the table with his effort. Biggest lead of the game now, 13 points. It goes off of Christopoulos, and then Paynes goes up and gets the dunk and will go to the line. And the foul on August, and that is a big, big play. Because now 4 fouls on August, and boy, he really got him on the head as well. He's looked like he almost took his head off with that. I don't know how Paynes didn't collapse to the floor. Well, Paynes has really been the man on the drives to the basket. He's had a few dunks. Demerel. Game getting a little bit chippy out there between these teams. Soklas fouls. Demerel up high. Soklas, it's a good point what he makes with Demerel kind of swinging his right arm around him. And Soklas arguing maybe that should be an offensive foul. But Demerel doesn't capitalize on the opportunity. He misses the first free throw. 2:07 remaining in the third quarter. He makes the second. So back to a 12-point game. You can see Markopoulos calling the shot. Seibert back into the game. Now Daryl Bryant. Into Paynes, who's been really a weapon. He passes it back out. Inside to Clanton, he kicks it. Bryant again over to Seibert for three. Seibert really needs to knock down that shot. He's got the reputation as a three-point shooter. Demerel over to Cavaclioglu. And Janis Paynes with the rebound, quickly up to Daryl Bryant, who races the head of the defense and scores on that fast break. Jandan. Oh. Now Soklas. Final minute of the third quarter. Soklas. No look. Over to Bryant. And Paynes batted it to Seibert. And 2 shots for Seibert. Jandan called for the foul. 23-year-old. And Seibert makes one, gets it back to single digits, that deficit. And the second one is good as well, so now it's an 8-point game. Oh, Rosaradam on top of Ventspils, 37-29 in that Group C game, and also we've got this one going on in Group C. And now a chance to get even closer for PAOK here at the end of the third quarter. Paynes for three. Seibert tries to rebound from the weak side, can't get it, and McKissick and co have an opportunity potentially to get the last shot. Soklas chasing Kavaklioglu. Kavaklioglu wisely tries to hold it. Now they can't foul because they'll put him on the line. And Karras goes too early. Panish back to Soklas for three. Oh, what a mistake by Usak Sportif. And with that shot from Soklas, and Panish knew the three-point shooter was out there, they have cut the deficit to just 5 points. Well, you have a chance to hold on to the last shot, and they just got into it a little bit too soon. Kavaklioglu is with Karras, and Karras went in for the dunk. He missed it, and it gave PAOK enough time to go down and knock down a three.
Jump to the ball. Defense yellow. Jump to the ball. Okay, help. Jump to the ball. Yellow. Touch. Okay. Let's go. Let's go. Okay.
12 turnovers for Usak Sportif, 8 for PAOK.
Hey, offense. Offense short. Short. Pass. Corner. Okay, pass corner. Short.
14 fast break points for PAOK and just 7 for Usak Sportif. Perhaps the most interesting statistic, really, which we didn't see there, was the 34 points coming from the bench for PAOK compared to 16 for Usak Sportif. So who's going to be the hero? Oh, Harrison comes back into the game for the hosts. Now Seibert explodes, gets in, and earns the trip to the line. Seibert's been good at the line. And he makes both. And now suddenly just a three-point game. They were up by as many as 13 points. 11-1 run since that point for PAOK. So, unsportsmanlike foul called on PAOK has put Karras at the line. What a call that is. So they'll get 2 free throws and possession. And he sinks both of them. And the interception by Seibert, and he is going up for the two-handed jam. And boy, that is a bad, bad mistake from Usak Sportif to telegraph the pass in that situation. You've just gotten the unsportsmanlike foul, and then you turn it over. Well, Seibert has really become a factor here in the second half, forcing the timeout.
3, hey, 4,
Does this Murat Bey Usak Sportif team have enough to hold on and get their third win in the Basketball Champions League? Freymanis with 13 points, McKissick 10, August with 10, Harrison with 9. Remember, August is vital for this team, and he's on the bench with 4 fouls. Panish with 11, Soklas with 9, and Seibert with 9. So that was Harrison's turnover. And PAOK breathing some life back into their challenge here. And Harrison does the best thing you can do when you make a mistake. You go down and you make up for it. You hit a jumper. Back to a 5-point lead now. Soklas. And a foul called. Demirel for the hold. You can see the air of desperation in Murat Bey Usak Sportif as they try to get just their 3rd win in the Basketball Champions League. Got the 5-point lead after the jump shot made by Harrison. Now Bryant hands it off to Clanton. 3 on the shot clock. Clanton's going to have to go up, and that was a great move by Clanton. Composed, just took his time. Has been very quiet tonight, Clanton. He's been very un-Clanton-like. Demirel, and fouled before the shot. Clanton's only taken 6 shots tonight. He's got 5 rebounds to go this 4 points. Soklas picks up the foul. Harrison, he's just hit 1 jump shot. He's probing, hands it off. Nope, it was knocked away. I think it was by Clanton. Now quickly to Zanis Paynes, alley-oop pass. Oh, he gets rejected. Seibert rejected out of bounds by Carries. Well, that was going to be an easy alley-oop before Mr. Carries flew into the picture. And now Carries called for the foul coming from behind. And that is 3 fouls on this Murat Bey Usak Sportif team. Seibert for 3, and August back in the game. How long can he last with the 4 fouls? He plays so aggressively. You can't tell him not to hold back, because that's what his strength is, to go all out. Now he's going to roll to the basket. Harrison drifts in, misses, and Seibert crosses midcourt, and he scores, going up over Freymanis, and now it's just a 1-point game. And the place is getting quiet as the fans fear what happened to that 13-point lead. Freymanis now. Seibert on his back. He tries to hand it off to August. And the ball goes out of bounds. And believe it or not, PAOK can take the lead on this possession. Comes up to sets the pick. Now he's going to roll. Bryant's got it. Looks like he wants to go one-on-one. Yes, he is. He's going to put up a jump shot. And August with the rebound and saves it into Kava Klioglu before he goes out of bounds. Now Freymanis. Bounce pass, Demirel to August in the end, and he's fouled. Well, great passing that time. Now 4 fouls on Keith Clanton. And Joe Bryant holding his face like he was fouled on the play. You saw him talking to the referee. And August misses a free throw. Well, this team has shot 10 of 18 at the free throw line. Now 10 of 19. And August misses both. Well, if you can't make your free throws, you're not going to win many games. Now Clanton, is he going to pick up the 5th foul on August? And August can't do anything about it, and PAOK have gone back in front with Clanton. Now going to 6 points. Bounce pass to Freymanis, and he is fouled by Panis, his Latvian compatriot. Well, that was just a terrific thread-the-needle pass from August to Freymanis. And Janis Panis puts his countryman on the line, Freymanis. Freymanis leading the way in scoring. He now gives his team a 69-67 lead. $16 points for Freymanis. Soklas calls the play. He says, just clear out, get out of the way. I'm going to hand it off, and Panis goes in and draws the foul. Boy, time and time again, PAOK have been able to get deep in the lane and put the ball up. Janis Panis makes the first free throw. And the second. And they have shot the ball very well at the line, 14 of 18. They're in the high 70s. We've got a tie game. McKissick. And Panis read the pass. He's going in for the dunk. And he has owned it tonight, folks. 15 points for Janis Panis. Most of those points coming from slams. Demirel answers. Sweet, confident move from Demirel. What a game, folks. Midway through the fourth quarter, we're all tied, 71. Group C, 4-4 PAOK going up against 2-6 Motorbike Usak Sportif. Panis, oh, his bounce pass. He tried to get it to Clanton. It goes out of bounds. Look at the hops here. I mean, he's an intriguing player, isn't he? Got good length. He dunked that with ease. $20 fast break points for the visitors and 10 for the hosts. Bryant back into the game. Well, who takes the shot now? Demirel looked confident on the last one. I'd say either he or Freymanis are prime candidates, and Demirel goes in. August had his hands on the ball, but he couldn't rebound it. Now Soklas up quickly to Seibert. And he turns it over to Jandan, who's come back into the game. And oh, what a pass! Oh, and what a play from Jandan, but he doesn't finish. And then it goes out of bounds off Soklas. That was the most beautiful play that just wasn't completed. And the crowd applauding, I think, Demirel for his pass that went between his legs to Jandan rather. Demirel gets it to D'Angelo Harrison. Harrison at the line, misses, and August went up for the follow, hung on the rim, and now it's PAOK's turn to come back the other way. Soklas, got to keep a hand in his face. He's a great shooter. Now Bryant, and Hristikapo's back in, and his three bounces over the backboard. And Clanton says, I've been the man, get me the rock. If you get me the ball, I'll either get to the line or I'll make the basket. So timeout on the floor, and it's crunch time.
Set L down. Set L down. Team foul. Okay, 5. Attack. Aggressive. Okay. Team foul 5. 5 screen 3. 1. Okay. Okay. 4 screen 2. Okay. 2. Attack. Okay.
With you. You open. Okay. 2 times. You have play other second time. Eh? What? You here.
To you. Yes.
You're here. No.
I see this.
You.
Just 5.
Okay. You cut. Okay. Okay. You have any chance. Okay. Again. Next. Okay. Defense now. Start defense.
Well, you heard the instructions, certainly, from the Turkish coach saying attack because we're in the bonus and we'll at least get to the free throw line. But the problem is they haven't really shot their free throws well. They're just 55% from the line. Both teams in the bonus, in fact. Harrison draws the foul. And he's mad at himself for not making the shot. Because if he had, he'd be at the line for a three-point play. Harrison frustrated that he didn't finish that shot off. Now he's at the line. Big shots. Makes the first one. In this situation, you need a player that takes responsibility and isn't afraid to attack the basket like the coach instructed. And I think Harrison's probably the best candidate to do so. But both he and Demirel are very effective, and he makes both free throws and takes it back to a 2-point lead. Now Soklas passes it back, and Clanton drives in, misses. August with the rebound. August still on the floor with those 4 fouls. Freymanis and Soklas got a quick hand in there, knocked it away. Harrison gets it to Freymanis with 4 on the shot clock. And Freymanis was on line but well short. And Clanton rebounds it. Now less than 3 minutes to go. Soklas over to Clanton. Now Bryant. Bryant gets inside, puts it up and in. And PAOK have knotted it at 73. Surely they've got to find Harrison again. Now Fremanis. Well, it's going to be Fremanis, and he shows his confident approach, just kind of drifts in, and he's got 18 points. He's really had a couple of big weeks in a row here. Didn't get the reward last week, but maybe he'll get it tonight. Soklas hands it off to Bryant. Bryant's just scored. Here he is getting inside, hands it off to Clanton, and Clanton looks over at the ref to say, hey, there was contact, but no foul was called, and now with less than 2 minutes remaining, it's Usak Sportif that has a chance to widen the lead, and Demirel tried to throw it to Fremanis, and Fremanis wasn't expecting the pass. So it goes back over to PAOK, another chance for the Greek team. So timeout on the floor. Painters with 15 points, leading the way for PAOK. Seibert with 11. And Soklas has 9. Brandon Taylor 7. We haven't seen much of him in the second half. Fremanis rather has 18 points. Harrison 13. McKissick and August each with 10 points. This is the shot that put the team ahead. And he went right again at Painters. Zanish Painters. So the Latvian's going to inbound it, guarded by Fremanis. Bryant pulls up at the free throw line, misses, ends up getting the ball back, hands it off to Painters, and he goes up and scores to tie it again. 75 apiece. A minute and a half remains. Will the ball go to Harrison this time, or will he be looking for Fremanis? And Harrison loses it. But the ball goes out of bounds off of PAOK. And Bryant, a little bit of pain here. And it looked like Bryant did a good job of knocking that ball away. So they were fortunate to have it, Motor Bay Usak Sportif. Demirel looking to get in the lane. Nope. Oh, he had the pass, and it was intercepted by Seibert, who's come up with another big steal, and he goes all the way in and misses the layup. But then Fremanis gets the ball, and it was out of bounds. Referee was right there. And Seibert can't believe he didn't make the layup. So now the hosts call another timeout. No conspiracies here, folks. You got to win the game, and you got to be able to finish. And both these teams have had their chances.
Be careful. 3 down lots. Do you remember? You here. You here. You here.
Painters with 17 now.
And 5 here. Hey, you ask for the ball in this move. Move. 4. Fox out, big for this guy.
Fremanis with the game high 18.
Okay, back.
Sağda Hakan burada olsun. Hakan değil.
Dribble, D, hand off. Hey, back,
Oh, here,
steal the ball.
Here,
Hey, watch out. Steal the ball. Screen, attack. Good big attack. 4-3. Hey.
Sen sağda sol.
Hey, one defense.
Well, they've really been treated to a good game here tonight. Ordered by Usak Sportif. They led by as many as 13 points, but PAOK refused to go away. And here they are, knotted at 75 apiece in this Group C game in the Basketball Champions League. Seibert on the left, misses. And Clanton goes up and gets his biggest rebound of the game, passes it back outside. Seibert passes up to three and then decides to hold on to it, but there's 5 seconds on the shot clock. Soklas is going to have to put it up. And he gets it to Paynes, and that's the man. He's been the man all day, and they get it to him. And he scores on the drive. What a play. What poise. Harrison. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Puts up a three. Good! How about that? Ice running in his veins. 78-77, the final 25 seconds. What a thriller. It's coming down to this, folks. Daryl Bryant. He's going at August. He gets it back to Soklas. Now Bryant gets inside, has nowhere to go. August has it, and he is fouled by Clanton with 4.9 seconds remaining. They just didn't have any options. Clanton picks up his third foul. 2 shots now for August. And remember, August bricked his last couple of free throws, so this is a pressure situation, not only for him, but PAOK will know they've got to keep their heads. They're going to have a chance. He's been playing with the 4 fouls. Nobody plays harder than this guy, folks. He is a hustler, a battler, but he has had some struggles at the free throw line. And August takes a deep breath after missing the first. Ten points, 11 rebounds. And breaks the second. Clanton over to Soklas. The final few seconds. Soklas gets it. Paynes puts up a three. Oh! Unbelievable! The three-pointer wins it. He banks it in. The bank is open. And PAOK have won in stunning fashion. But they are going to look at it to see if it counts. What a cruel way to lose the game. But folks, if you have a chance to make a free throw at the end of the game, you have simply got to make your free throws. Incredible. Has he released it in time? I think he has. Here it is. Soklas kept his head. He found Paynes. Oh, I'm not sure that he did get it off in time. He may. They are going to look at this from that angle. It's difficult to see, but you can't tell from the shot clock from that camera angle, unfortunately. But what excitement. The Basketball Champions League just keeps delivering it week after week. And the question is, did he release it before the final buzzer? Here he is. Oh. And I think maybe they're not going to count it. So the basketball gods have smiled, in fact, on Murder by Usak Sportif. The referees were not exactly sure specifically which replay they looked at, but I'm sure they have looked at the replays and they have determined that it was after the game clock. What a difficult way to lose for PAOK. Motored by Usak Sportif are breathing a sigh of relief. Markopoulos goes over. He's asking, and cruel way to lose, but the party is on in Usak. They have risen from the dead, folks. I mean, it looked like the game was over, and fortunately, the game technology, the video replay has saved them. Unfortunately for PAOK, one of the most dramatic shots in this season has been wiped away. Nevertheless, they fall to 4-5, and this Motored by Usak Sportif team, which led by 13 points, have dodged a major bullet at the end that quite frankly, folks, might have just gone ahead and put them out of their misery. But instead, they have won the game, and they have improved to 3-6, and now everybody wants a photo with the players, their heroes, as they get ready to go off the court. What a game. Fremanis blowing kisses to the crowd. Here it is again. You can barely see one. Okay, so he's going to catch it with 0.6, 0.5, 0.4. You can't see it from that angle. It has to be extremely close. I don't think that they would wipe it away if they didn't have definitive proof. And referees, I have to say, have done a great job of taking their time, going over, and presumably finding the video replay, which has determined the final outcome of this game, which you feel bad for Zanos Panis because he had a terrific game for PAOK. And boy, the happiest man in town right now is Zach August. Zach August, who was terrific once again overall, but had some free throw nightmares, and his 2 free throws left the door open right there at the end. And Zach August is going to be a happy man. I think you forgive him for the free throw misses because he worked so hard. He had the 10 points, the 11 rebounds, and what a dramatic finish in the Basketball Champions League. Whew. You're going to want to go back and watch the highlights of this one, folks. The replay, whatever. That last frantic last 5 seconds is about as exciting as you'll get. And unfortunately for PAOK, that three-pointer that banked in from Zanos Panis has been wiped away because it was taken after the final buzzer. So just looking at some of the scoring, 19 points for Panis, 18 for Fremanis. So the 2 Latvians took center stage here from a scoring standpoint. And don't forget the crucial three-pointer. Now here by D'Angelo Harrison, that go-ahead three-pointer late in the game, that was crucial play for him. Here are some of the highlights right at the end of this incredible encounter. I don't know what I've done to deserve so many close games, but boy, it has been a pleasure to be able to call these games this season in the Basketball Champions League. So many good ones. Motored by Usak Sportif winning at 78-77 in just the most dramatic circumstances. There's August. Misses, but John Dine was there for the putback. This game just had a little bit of everything, really. And now you have to wonder about the possibilities for Motored by Usak Sportif as they attempt to get into that top 4. Possibly 5th place would be good enough for them to get into the playoffs. Still a long way to go, but at least the signs are there that they are going to be competitive. And that's what they did today. They came out and they really competed. You saw carries go in and get the block right there. And that's the kind of play that you have to make to be successful. You've got to be aggressive on both ends of the floor. And it seems like a switch has been flipped with this Motorbike Usak Sportif team, playing with a little bit more fire. And as they get the wins, the confidence will grow. And it's plays like that from Zach August, the physicality that he brings to this team, that no-nonsense attitude, we're going after it. And the same for D'Angelo Harrison is going to help this team. Now, Panish has had an amazing game. He scored that one by just getting killed in the face by August. And with a lot of class, didn't complain, just went to the line to take his free throw. And it looked like Seibert also might be one of the heroes who really took off tonight with his defense. But again, Carries came out and just had another big block. And it's plays like this that separate teams from wins and victories. And Carries did a terrific job hustling back to get the block. And it looked like that was going to be trouble, but D'Angelo Harrison, after this terrific play by Seibert, after the pass was telegraphed, Harrison went back to the other end and scored with a mid-range jumper. Kava Klioglu went in and scored with that one. So those are the highlights, folks. What a game to savor. Tough luck, PAOK. Come back strong next time. It's been our pleasure to bring it to you, the Basketball Champions League Game Day 9 clash. It's Motorbike Usak Sportif holding on to win it 78-77 over PAOK. Wow.